Welcome to the new episode of AfriFlag TV. I am your host, Nasidi Yusuf. Today, I want to talk about our diversity within the African continent and why we can use that diversity as a bridge to connect and unify it and become strong once again. Because civilization has begun in Africa, so it has come to end here. So we are at the stage where we needed to awaken our other individuals who are in a kind of deep mental state of asleepness, which by grace of God, with our wisdom and understanding of the deepest part of a human core, we are going to elaborate and talk about our diversity as a bridge. We have different ethnic groups within the continent of Africa, and each and every one rely upon their cultural values and norms. We can use that as a bridge. Each person should use and ask himself, what's my identity? Because if you identify your identity, that is where you will have a root. And upon roots, the truth will come out. The truth is that which will build reality, not a distorted uh, situation where we thought we are existing in a kind of a system that unified us on the basics of lies and deceit. In that context, each culture have a certain elements that makes it unique and admirable. So use that as a bridge to rebuild your inner self and become self-aware to a certain degree, because a consciousness operates on the light that one embody. So we should try to be positive in our way of lives. We should be honest, truthful, and all that. Because when there's some words people says that God has left Africa long time ago, it was out of our ignorance of what is right and wrong, because we believe going against the norms is always something that will attract attacks and condemnation from others, because we live in a very dysfunctional state of mind where it has a root in our family systems and upbringing. So therefore we have to break that chain by building a strong cultural values and ethnics within our own roots, by upbringing the children in align with that which is right, not that which we wanted. So in that aspect, I want us to change the way we see ourselves as people. We should begin to look inward for our solution, because our problem are external, are internally placed by external forces, because we lack awareness within. So that for us to break that chain, we have to cultivate a kind of mindset that have a courage to uphold and accept that which is right. The right everywhere is right. Your right may not be my right, but all rights are not rights, except you are right. Who is right? Only one who seeks the right path, by knowing the values he's going to embody, by knowing the qualities, the kind of person he is. Without knowing that, you will live on a kind of an emotional roller coaster, which will cost you dearly. Upon on that ground, we should look at the reason why we fail to reach the standard and we are left behind in this universal order, is because the best among us were never allowed to be at the forefront. Instead, they were humiliated, killed, deceived, and all that. All that has to stop. We should know that a man that comes out and speak on behalf of the masses selflessly, and that is a kind of a man that will lead people into prosperity with a certainty, without a doubt. Such an individual is always disregarded because he does not possess that kind of qualities that acquired wealth illegally based on his empathetic nature. Based on those qualities, you should look into the qualities that are needed in order for one to become what it is required to be leading. So until we go back to our roots, our families, our diversities, and makes the difference clear, and also use our differences as the bridge to cover the gaps. I want us to look into the chaos, the kind of calamity that befall us today. Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, is this, that, unnamed numbers of bandits and terrorist organizations, which all have the breeding ground among our own youths. Why? Because the society failed to kind of enlighten, to guide the youth in a right and a positive way, because they lack the kind of mindset needed to adopt the kind of a positive life that is desirable and profitable to the entire society and the universe in general. What we can do about that is to look into our dysfunctional family settings and make some amends, despite the fact that societies believes that they have to go in that kind of a delusional existence in order to survive. But the courage and the bravest men among us should break free from that kind of a dynamic and recognize it for what it is, that whoever deny reality will never really exist in reality, and whoever it does not exist in reality become a what? It becomes prototype. For that case, we should also like and needed that which is authentic. For instance, my kind of content I create are kind of contents that provokes anger and envy, jealousy, and all that within the people that are kind of like that my message was meant for, because of what the insecurities they are buried within their emotionally depth, which they fail to face, and they fail to grow emotionally. They become emotionally dead. For that reason, we should upgrade our mindset by giving our youths a solid foundation, a kind of a rehabilitation, a kind of a process that will enable them become useful to us and to the world in general. How can we do that? We must follow the steps by breaking free from this negative pattern of mental state. Because, for instance, when you ask someone, who are you? The person's answer goes straight to, I am Emeka, or I am Yusuf, son of this or that. His identity is based on a false belief and identity, which is all based on delusional reality. So we should break the chain by identifying our core selves, by looking into that very which we always try to ignore, that which fleet within our minds, that which we wave, we don't want to face. We should face the reality once and for all. In so doing, we are going to create a kind of people that have an emotional maturity and understanding, and they will be able to relate with the world and have their own resources and human potentials managed and directed positively. I hereby call on you, join AfriFlag TV, not because it's a movement, because it is an awareness campaign.